All right, Brian. Our next guest. Let's get him out of the waiting room. He's been there for about 5 minutes. Probably hearing all the stories. I'm pretty sure he's ready to say something back at Gunner. About this hill run. Let's see what he got to say. Let's hear the man himself, Elijah McAllister. Elijah, what's going on?
How y'all doing? I'm doing good.
Hey, man. I hear you was a basketball player. In high school. You know, I played a little basketball myself in high school, and I sometimes just wish I could come down there and put you guys behind the 3-point line because I can't bang down low with you anymore. You gotta lift that heavy weights. Brian, when you get a little, they say when you get past 40, you gotta be smart about what you do in the weight room.
Yeah. Until you get
So
to 55, big man.
right. So I pick my poison. I just stay out there and just play a little bit of horse with my nephew. Sometimes shooting threes, but no, Elijah, you're 6'6", 261. Gunner 6'6". I'm like, man, it's not like a basketball squad. This is what the SEC football is supposed to look like. Big offensive lineman, big tall defensive lineman, and you from New Jersey. You go to Vanderbilt, and now you come to Auburn. So you have SEC experience. So for you being in different stadiums, it's nothing new. What made you choose to come to Auburn, though? The transition from the SEC East over to the SEC West, and what are you looking forward to?
Yeah. Well, first off, thank y'all for having me here today. I really do appreciate it. You guys continue to represent Auburn the right way, and hopefully I'll do the same in these few minutes that I'm speaking. But what led me to Auburn was firstly the main thing was Coach Freeze. I had a great conversation with him in the recruiting process, and that helped me kind of transition from Vanderbilt to here, but also staying in the best conference in the country, playing against the best competition. I got this running joke an old coach used to say to me, is like, there's only three conferences in the world: the AFC, the NFC, and the SEC. That's it. So really, playing in the best conference, coming to a place like this where there's a ton of tradition, a ton of winning culture, and just trying to bring that back. So those are really the main things. Coach Freeze, staying in his great conference, and then bringing the winning back to a great university that has a ton of tradition.
Well, Elijah, I believe you were the first, if not one of the first transfers to, commit to Auburn, and now it's 20 new guys. How does it feel to be that, one of the first guys in, and how do you feel about all the new faces and talent that Freeze and company brought in?
Yeah, I mean, naturally, I have some leadership qualities, and I think starting this thing off the right way and leading this charge was important for me. Getting in early and ready for the work. That's kind of why I made all the decisions so early. And then how I feel about the new guys coming in, I feel great about it. Anytime you can turn the roster over and add more talent, not only allows you to be better on the field product-wise on Saturday, but also allows you to have more competition within your room and practice Monday through Friday, which in turn makes everybody better in your position group. And then product on Saturday becomes better. So the talent is amazing. We added a lot of pieces in a lot of positions, offense and defense. And I'm just excited to get to work with these guys that I've already started this month. So.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, all the jack linebackers which you play are new guys. And I guess you got to be a leader as a new guy to some of those guys because you got the experience. You were here first. But tell me what you've seen, especially as some of the guys that just showed up, like Steven Sings and Jalen McLeod that just transferred over.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about, obviously, we had two great players who played position this past year. Traditionally, have great rushers here in this position and guys who've high production. I think all three of us complement each other really, really well. I'm 6'6", 270. I played run really well. I played a lot of different positions on the defensive line, and I've SEC experience. I can get after the quarterback a bit too as well. I can do a lot of different things. I can rush. I can cover. I played in a lot of different schemes. Smart guy, and I think Jalen is a very twitchy dude, man. He's super twitchy, great get off, amazing athleticism. I think Steven's a combination of both of us and sits right there in the middle in between. So we all three of us complement each other really, really well. All three of us have college football experience. And all three of us are humble workers that bounce ideas off each other, which will ultimately form a great unit for a productive defense. Because as that position goes, I think the defense becomes better. So.
Yeah, and like you said, in the SEC, like you definitely have to be too deep, in every position because, as fast as offense to go nowadays, teams try to get up so many plays in games and everything. I know there's a couple of rule changes, Brian, that's happening where, it's kind of going towards the NFL where the clock stops in the last 2 minutes of the first half and the second half. But before that, the clock, once the next play is over, the clock is continuing. So, it's going to cut out about 8 plays probably more so than anything. I don't see it being more than that. But just talk about, teams that try to get up so many plays, they go so fast. So the rotation is very, very important. Like, what are you guys doing from a defensive standpoint of, I would try to say, to stay in shape, to build up, to get ready for these early games in the season where things happen fast?
Yeah, I think the first thing starts with Coach Dom in the weight room and our training on the field, getting conditioned and getting as strong as possible. And then secondly, just making sure everybody's ready and acclimated to the playbook that Coach Roberts is putting on us so that everybody's able to contribute as many people as you can. Because like you said, the rotation is going to be important. And if guys haven't played in this league or don't know what it's like, I mean, it's a gauntlet week in and week out. There's no down weeks, which means you need everybody, as many bodies as you can, to continue to rotate from the game, but also week to week because it's a high-level competition. So I think Coach Dom in the weight room and the weight training every single week is helping us, but also Coach Roberts making sure everybody's in tune with the playbook so that you have the ability to be out there because you know what you're doing.
All right. Yeah, let me go one more, Brian, here, if we're quick out for that. I would say this. You got a chance to play in a 4-3 defense. And now y'all base, I think, is a 34 defense, which also you transition to a 4-3 sometimes, just depending on who you're playing or what the other team, the opponent, their strength is. Talk about a little bit of the difference, from a jack linebacker in a 34 defense to moving when you go to a 4-3, now it becomes Sam, Mike, and Will. And then you got 2 down end rushers.
Yeah, I think, I started off in a 3-4 defense with Coach Mason at Vandy, and that's when I had my most productive years there. And I think that's naturally what I'm the best at. But transitioning to a 4-3 these past couple of years has been different for me because just simply you're coming from playing just a strictly non-technique on the edge of defense, or sometimes kicking into a 6, to playing a hard 5, a hard 6, and then bumping into a 4 sometimes, and sometimes 3 in a passing rush situation. So I think it's just a coach's preference and what they like. I played in all of them. I prefer 3-4, but me playing in the 4-3 the last 2 years allowed me to have a lot of versatility, which when Coach Roberts wants to go multiple, I don't necessarily have to come off the field. I can play in different fronts and different aspects, and also just do the things I love to do, which is setting really good edges, covering guys, and then getting after the quarterback on the edge. So.
Elijah, I'm curious about your shirt, All for One and One for All, your Elijah McAllister Foundation. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I started about 1.5 years ago in Nashville and New Jersey. So it's a charitable organization that we continue to, educate young adults and youth and have them experience things they have never experienced before. So I have my second annual youth camp in New Jersey on July 7th. And then I also have a back to school drive at the Boys and Girls Club where we'll give 100 kids school supplies and backpacks at the Boys and Girls Club here in Auburn on July 20th. So I'm just want to continue to be a servant to the community as I continue to elevate my life. I know there's people in my life that have poured into me, so I just want to give back in any way I can to people that are in need.
And Gunnar mentioned you might be going for your doctorate. Is that correct? Tell us where you are in your academic journey.
Yes, it is. It's just the next step of schooling. So I got my master's degree already, and it was just something where it's a next step of schooling. I didn't really want to take any courses that weren't going to add to hopefully a next degree. And in order to get a doctorate, I got to take some pretty tough classes, but that doesn't put football on the back burner. I'm 100% bought into football and want to be and will be productive this season. But I also know that I can take some courses that are going to allow me to get another degree, which will be beneficial for myself and also set a new trajectory for my family for the next generations, which is important as well.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I wish a lot of our young guys thought that way. A lot of guys going to look back 10 to 15 years from now and see the opportunity that they had in college to take advantage of. And some of them are not going to take advantage of them. And then they're going to wish they would have. And there's going to be guys like yourself, whether you're still playing football or whether you're doing something else, you're going to be a success story. And it's not because it happened at that standpoint, but it's all because you're building the platform right now. And that's why I always tell guys, pay now, pay later. It takes sacrifice to achieve great things in life, and sometimes that's your time. Sometimes it's your effort. It's what you're putting your mindset to build, not for now, but like you say, 15, 20 years from now and generations to come. And so you're on the right track, man. You're having the right mindset, and you've also overcome some hurdles, in your career. You've overcome 3 ACL. I think you had 3 ACL tears you have to overcome. You're also a big part of FCA as well on campus. Just talk about overcoming some of those, you know, things that challenge you a little bit, especially as a player. You know, getting through those 3 ACL tears.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple guarantees in life. One of them is for sure adversity, and it comes in all shapes, forms, and sizes. I've had to deal with some injuries in my past, and I've been healthy, thankfully, these last couple of years, and continue on this year 3. And that just allowed me to be strong and continue to work on things for myself and continue to push through things in terms of a mental toughness standpoint, which allows me to sit here in the seat I am today, leading and honestly, like, not getting surprised or shocked by anything that comes my way because I've dealt with adversity in the past. So those instances where I had injuries and different things like that, it only made me a better person mentally, and then made me a better player because I got to see the game from a different way. Now, I've been in different defensive schemes. I've been on the sideline watching football from the box and from the sidelines, which allows you to see it differently. I used to be like, dang, coach is on me. Like, there's no way these guys aren't going hard. There's no way this doesn't look like this. Or he set the edge when I'm playing, but then when you look at it from the box or from the sideline, you're like, oh, the edge really wasn't set. It did.
Yeah.
So it's a lot different. So overcoming that just, was just a part of life, and this adversity that I was able to push through. And I'm just glad I'm here today with the opportunities I have to continue to be a productive player in this league.
Elijah, I'm curious about your time at Auburn off the field. What's it been like, the transition from coming from New Jersey to Nashville, now to Auburn? What were some things you really enjoyed being here?
Yeah, it's a lot different than what I'm accustomed to, but I enjoy it because people here love Auburn. And I'm not used to that. Being in Nashville, it's a tourist city. Yeah. People come in and out, so you don't really see the same people all the time. And then New Jersey, it's just different. I grew up there, and it's a city. It's a lot of people moving around, a lot of different types of people. So it's just different. Whereas here, you feel the pride and joy and love for Auburn, for each other. And you might see the same person once or twice, or see somebody you go to school with in the grocery store. And that home feel is important for a college kid to get, but also just to have a great experience in life. So I enjoy it because it's super homey feel. It's nice.
And Bryan, one thing I know, one game is circled on his calendar is November the 4th. We go back to Nashville on November 4th. I know you probably given it a little bit of thought. I know you're a one day at a time, one game at a time type of guy. But at the same time, when you saw the schedule and you saw Vanderbilt and you saw it was back in Nashville, what are you looking forward to most in that game?
Well, honestly, just looking forward to being back in a stadium that I put a lot of time and years and effort into and made a lot of plays on, and just doing that in the right uniform, in the Auburn blue and orange, and just doing that and ultimately coming out with a win. We're excited to go there for a nice trip, a good homecoming, get a win, and get up out of there and get to the next game. Like you said, I'm a one game at a time person, but obviously I'm excited about that because I get to play some friends and be around some people who I've shared a lot of experiences with, but most importantly, you want to get out there with a win in the right colors.
Bryan, you got anything else?
I'm good. Yes, thank you.
All right. So talk about just you going against his offensive line in the spring, and you've seen Gunner, you've seen Dylan Wade, you've seen Avery Jones. Jeremiah couldn't really participate a lot this spring, but now he's getting a chance to get back in the form. Tate Johnson, he's up front. What have you seen from this new group of offensive linemen? Well, you didn't see the old group, but what have you seen so far from my transfer guys that have come in, going against them on a daily basis in spring?
Yeah, so I've had a lot of experience with some high-level offensive linemen throughout the years, and I can tell you this group is no different in terms of the talent level, of the aggressiveness, and the effort they put in every single day. I played against some legitimate boys, and I see no different. And obviously, I don't know if we have any favorite O-linemen, but Dylan Wade is a very good athlete and a very good offensive lineman. He reminds me a lot of my former teammate who had Tyler Steen, who transferred to the other school from Vandy and ended up getting drafted in the third round this past year. He reminds me a lot of him. Super strong hands, aggressive, athletic, smart dude. So, this offensive line, I think, I didn't get to see last year, but I played against some really good offensive linemen, and they're right up there with the best of them. And I think Coach Freeze's offense will help them even more be at an advantage against other defenses. So I love this offensive line. I think 1 through 5. You're bringing a lot of older guys, a lot of guys who have experience. I think they're going to be a formidable group coming forward. But I really like D Wade a lot. Obviously, you know, he's going to be that left tackle spot's important in this league, and he's a great athlete, great person. So it reminds me a lot of my former teammate. I think he could play at the next level, at a high level. So.
Yeah, then you talk about you know, Keldrick Falk, you know, the big 5-star guy that we signed this past year. What do you see in Keldrick? You know, I know this year's going to be a learning curve. He gets a chance to learn behind some really good guys and leaders that have experience at college. But what do you see from Keldrick that you think that's going to make this kid special?
I mean, God has blessed him in many ways, athletically and physically. I mean, if you build a defensive end, even at his age right now, 18, I mean, he's it. He'll only get grown man strength, he'll only get stronger, better, more athletic as he gets older. But just who he is as a person and his work ethic is second to none for his age and his maturity. So I think, you know, I would never put any pressure or anything on somebody for these next few years. But I'm telling you right now, I'll put my stamp on that kid. He's a legitimate kid. He's going to be able to be productive for this university. And he's going to put the country on notice, not for years to come, but he has the ability to do it this year and be productive this year. I mean, the kid, obviously, you know, he has everything you need to look for in defensive end at his young age, physically, but mentally, he's far beyond his years in terms of work ethic and who he wants to be. And he truly believes that he can be and reach his full potential, which I think he will. So, yeah.
Yeah, before I get to the quick rapid fire, we'll put you on the hot seat before we get you out of here. We just thank you for your time. Just having this secondary behind you guys, you know, you get DJ James, Nehemiah Pritchard, you got, you know, a lot of guys, Kyan Lee just come in, and you got Keontae Scott and Jalen Simpson move from corner to safety, and, you know, Zion Puckett. It's a lot of guys at that position, which adds a lot of depth back there. It's your mindset as a pass rusher. How do you feel rushing the passer, knowing what you have behind you? What does that change your mindset as I got to get to this guy a lot faster because I know I got some guys that can break on the ball, or, you know, if I can't get there fast enough this time because they're trying to double team me on the outside, I feel comfortable in our DBs to still hold up for us to have opportunity to get there.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive back unit is probably our best unit on the team, and we're one of the best units in the country. I mean, from top to bottom, these guys can play with anybody. And it's funny because, as you say that, as I'm a couple practices in, I'm rushing, and I'm just working a move, a little long arm stab, etc. And I'm thinking, I'm like, the ball's not out yet. I'm used to the ball being out very fast and not being able to have the ability to rush in a lot of different instances for a lot of different reasons. But here, I'm able to actually rush and have some time to rush. So I'm rushing. Oh, I actually have time. The ball's not out. So I'm rushing, working, moving, and getting sacks. And everybody knows rush and coverage works together. And that group is going to be who they're going to be every single day because they're going to show up and guard people and cover anybody in the country. And that's going to help our front be able to get to the quarterback. And then as we get confident as a front and get to the quarterback and get some sacks, it'll in turn help them get some picks. So, you know, we're married up from the front to the back end, but that group is super talented, as you know, played a lot of ball at a high level. They're very, very good. And, you know, it just allows me to rush with confidence, knowing that they're going to be covered back there. And the quarterback going to have to pat that ball a little longer than what I'm accustomed to.
And Elijah, I want to ask you what it's like working under Ron Roberts. What can we expect out of his defense, and what are some different ways he might use the jack linebackers?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Roberts is a guy who runs multiple different fronts, and you should expect, you know, a lot of different things. Like any defensive scheme, you know, you're going to get some blitzes, some coverage things, and different things, all different coverages. Without giving you too much, I think from a jack linebacker, you're going to see a versatile player. You're going to see a guy that's going to stop the run first and foremost on first and second down, a guy that's going to drop into coverage from tight ends, from backs, and a guy that's going to be able to get on the edge and rush the passer throughout the game, but also have multiple jacks on the field at one time, too. Throughout the year, you're going to see that a lot, which would be important and beneficial for not only the group, for the defense. So it would be nice. He has a really good mind, obviously. Successful defense at different stops he's been at, and this defense is really fun to play in.
So that's what's up. Well, you're on the Victory podcast, so we have to ask you about NIL and what you think about NIL, and you know it's changed the game. You're similar to Gunner, where beginning there was no NIL, and then transfer portal, you have to sit out a year if you left. Now transfer portal has changed. NIL has changed. How have you seen NIL from your point of view?
Yeah, I mean, well, I've seen it personally just benefit the community because all the NIL money I give back to my foundation and in turn goes to the community. So for me personally, I've seen it change lives because it has allowed me to give back to people in need. From a general standpoint, I've seen it change athletes' lives from, allowing student athletes to monetize off their name, image, likeness, and change their family's life in a way that they can help provide for their parents back home. Also, get things they would like to and feel comfortable in college and not worrying about how they're gonna pay for this Chipotle tonight and how they're gonna make weight on Tuesday weigh-ins because they're financially stable in a way and have consistent income coming in. So I think it's been beneficial for a lot of different reasons, a lot of different athletes, and I think as college football goes, the NIL space goes, then it'll be important in a lot of different capacities. But it's been nice to have something that I didn't expect to have when I first got to school, but it's a blessing in all kind of ways, and I think it's helping not only the athletes but also the people who they're giving to in their communities.
What's up? That's what's up. Well, man, we appreciate all the foundation work that you do. It's not many guys that we get on this show, not by fault. It's just that, maybe a lot of guys hadn't thought that far ahead just yet. But, it's a testament to your character and who you are as a person. Like I say, I can definitely see you being in a leadership position one day when you're done playing ball, or that's in the pros for many years or whatever. I think you're going to be great success at whatever you choose to do and everything. But you have the right mindset and the right heart for it. Rapid fire, put you on the hot seat real quick. Playing in the SEC, this is going to be a big year. One guy you looking forward to going up against this year, or one team. We know. Take Alabama out of it. We know Alabama's the Iron Bowl.
I was about to be one. Oh man, I don't even know. I haven't played LSU since the Joe Burrow year, so I think that'll be a really fun team to play against, and they're on the uptick as well as the program, and so are we. So I think that'll be a really competitive match, and I just want to play them and get excited to go against them. So yeah.
Fans want to know, what's a typical off-season day schedule like right now, like working out for us getting up, and just take us through your schedule for right now.
Right now, man, wake up 6:30 in the morning, go eat breakfast at 7, got lift at 8 to 10:30-ish, hop on a podcast at 10:50, go get some lunch right afterwards, then probably have a team run at 2 o'clock, 2:30, 2 o'clock outside, not 2:30, can't be late for that. 2 o'clock, running outside, doing some team conditioning stuff. Done at like 4:30, and then get to go home, get some food, and get ready for the next day. So a simple day, but it's nice.
Cool. What's your favorite place to eat at in Auburn?
Man, there's this new place actually that just opened up. It's called Stacks Auburn that I really enjoy. Breakfast spot. So that's really nice. They got some really good French toast. I'm a big French toast guy. So Stacks Auburn is called.
All right, Stacks. I got to try that one. I haven't been there yet.
I had the French toast there last week. So
so you had it. How long has it been open?
A few weeks, maybe.
3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, where's it located?
It's downtown. I don't really know what it's called. It's kind of by it's just downtown. I don't know what street.
Okay.
It's
It's on Magnolia, just down from Taco Mama and some of those places right there.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Y'all just gave me another eating spot. I'm a foodie, Elijah. I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
So you follow me on IG, you'll know that. And everything. Talk about, what's your favorite Auburn tradition you're looking forward to this year?
I've never seen the eagle fly in my life, so I'm excited for that. I want to see it. I want to see what it's all about. I want to see the fans go crazy. I'm excited to experience that, and then also just the fans, seeing them come and support and being there in orange and blue. Honestly, will be just a comforting experience for me from a home team perspective, and actually feeling that vibe and that fan love from the home team. So it'll be good. So just the eagle fly, and then just the tradition and the fans just going crazy for us.
Yeah, it's awesome that you guys get a chance to see the eagle fly. I remember for many years when I played at Auburn, we were still in the locker room when the eagle was flying. We didn't come out until afterwards. And then I think our senior year, maybe we got a chance for a couple of games to see it actually fly by standing on the sideline before you go out. And the coaches finally realized, like, hey, this juices up our guys, so let's get them out there and watch this. But, one last one before we let you get out of here. What's the one I say? I'll say yes. Let's do this one. Night before a big game. what as a defensive end will keep you up at night? What makes you think a little deeper before you want to get to that field and go after it?
Man, I mean, not too much allows me. I don't know if you can tell. I'm not really an overthinker or somebody that gets shaken up by too much. But before the game, I'm just watching NFL guys' highlights, watching different moves they work, and watching different guys work different moves against some elite tackles, so that maybe through some osmosis or some muscle memory, as I'm watching this, I might pull off a move in the game. So the night before, I kind of get all my film study and stuff done for the team. It's already done that Friday night, and that's just really me enjoying myself and watching things I like, which are NFL highlights and some guys get some moves from, watch them be successful, and sometimes watch myself. So yeah.
Cool. Well, Elijah, we definitely appreciate you coming on the show today, man. This is a great great treat to have you on, man. I think you're a great ambassador. Like I said before, continue to do what you do in the community, continue to do what you do for this football team. All your teammates speak very highly of you, and everything. And this team needs guys like you. We've had 2 rough seasons, and, building high character guys and getting Auburn men to come and participate, I think gonna get this thing turned around quicker than it would have taken, because we got the right type of guys, and that includes you on that list. So we appreciate you coming on. Bryan, great show again. Thank you for coming on. Like I say, you can find Bryan at auburnsports.com. He also works with Rivals and everything. And like I said, here I am, your host, Bryan's co-host today. And until our next show, On to Victory podcast, continue to subscribe, continue to support our student athletes. And thank you for all that you do for the Auburn students. And we will continue to bring you great guests to this show. And like we like to say, War Eagle.